Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be explaining how you can finance a car in the UK. Now by the end of this video you're going to understand everything you need to know about car finance and you're going to understand how you can get the best car finance deal for you. So to start with, what types of car finance are there? There are 6 main types of car finance available in the UK. To start with, there's hire purchase, also known as HP. With HP you borrow the full amount of the car and pay it back in monthly instalments plus interest. And at the end of the agreement, you own the car outright. There's also a personal contract purchase, also known as PCP. With PCP, you borrow a portion of the car's value and pay it back in monthly instalments plus interest. At the end of the agreement, you have 3 options. Pay a final balloon payment to own the car outright, hand the car back to the lender, or start a new PCP agreement on a new car. The third type is a personal contract hire, also known as PCH. And with PCH, you essentially lease the car from the lender for a fixed period of time. You make monthly payments to cover the depreciation of the car, plus interest. At the end of the agreement, you must hand the car back to the lender. Next up, we got a personal loan. With a personal loan, you borrow the full amount of the car from a bank or a lender and start paying it back in monthly instalments, plus interest. And you own the car outright from the start. Next up, there's a guarantor loan. A guarantor loan is similar to a personal loan, but you have a guarantor who agrees to repay the loan if you are unable to do so. And finally, we have 0% finance. 0% finance is a type of car finance where you borrow the full amount of the car and pay it back in monthly instalments without paying any interest. 0% finance is often offered on new cars, but it is important to read the terms and conditions carefully as there may be other fees associated with the agreement. So how do we apply it for car finance? Once you've chosen the type of car finance you want, you'll need to apply for it. This can be done online, over the phone, or in person at a dealership. You'll need to provide some basic information about yourself and your finances, and you may also need to pass a credit check. Once you've submitted your application, the lender will assess your credit worthiness and make a decision. If your application is approved, you'll be offered a finance agreement, but you will need to read and understand the terms and conditions of the agreement before you sign it. Once you have signed the agreement, you'll usually need to pay a deposit. The amount of the deposit will vary depending on the lender and the type of car finance agreement you have chosen. Once the deposit has been paid, the lender will release the funds and you'll be able to collect your new car. So what are some things to consider when choosing a car finance deal? To start with, the interest rate. This is the percentage of the loan amount that you will pay in interest. There's also the repayment loan, and this is the length of time that you will have to repay the loan. You also want to consider the deposit. This is the amount of money you will need to pay upfront when you buy the car. And finally, the monthly payments. This is the amount of money that you will need to pay each month to repay the loan. Now everyone's financial situation will be different. You have to look at all these factors and figure out what sort of deal is best for you. So what are some tips for getting the best car finance deal? To start with, you want to shop around and compare different offers from different lenders. There are many different car finance providers in the UK, so it's important to compare different offers before you choose one. You can also use a car finance comparison website to compare offers from different lenders. You can also get pre-approved for car finance before you start shopping for a car, and this will give you an idea of how much you can afford to borrow and what interest rate you are likely to be offered. You can get pre-approved for car finance online, over the phone, or in person at a bank or lender. You can put down a large deposit. The larger the deposit you can put down, the lower your monthly repayments will be and the less interest you will pay overall. You can also choose a shorter loan term, and that's because shorter loan terms typically have lower interest rates than longer loan terms. However, your monthly repayments will be higher. And finally, you want to read the terms and conditions of any finance agreement carefully before you sign it. This will help you understand the full cost of the agreement and your rights as a borrower. So what should you do if you have bad credit? To start with, you want to shop around and compare different offers. There are many different lenders in the UK who specialise in car finance for people with bad credit. You can use a car finance comparison website to compare offers from different lenders. You also want to be flexible with your choice of car. If you're open to buying different makes and models of cars, you will have more options to choose from and you may be able to find a better deal. You can also get a guarantor. A guarantor is someone who agrees to repay the loan if you're unable to do so. If you have a guarantor, you may be able to get better interest rates and terms on your finance agreement. And finally, you want to improve your credit score. There are a number of things you can do to improve your credit score, such as paying your bills on time and keeping your credit utilisation ratio low. And by improving your credit score, that will basically show the lender that you are able to repay things and they will trust you more when lending you money. So in conclusion, there are a few different things to keep in mind when financing a car in the UK. First, you will need to choose the type of finance that's right for you. Each type has its own advantages and disadvantages, so it's important to weigh the pros and cons before making a decision. If you have good credit, you're more likely to be approved for a loan, and you'll be able to get a lower interest rate. But if you have bad credit, there are still things you can do to get car finance, but you may need to put down a larger deposit or pay a higher interest rate. You may also want to consider working with a specialist lender who caters to people with bad credit. And finally, it's important to take your time and not rush into things when choosing which car finance is right for you. You want to take your time and read the terms and conditions carefully before you sign anything, and make sure you are honest about your financial situation when telling the lender. So this has been my video on how to finance a car in the UK. Hopefully now that you've watched this video, you understand everything you need to know about car finance, and you should be able to work out what sort of deal is the best one for you. However, as I said in that conclusion, it is important to take your time with it and not rush into things. It's very easy to rush into these sort of things when you're looking to get a new car, because when you're excited about getting something like a car, you may overlook certain other things, such as the contract and how much you are going to be paying back every month. So you want to make sure you can actually afford it and are able to pay it back. So that's been my video on how to finance a car in the UK. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please comment down below to say this video helped you out, and like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching.